Welcome to the deep sea. Ready for the deep dive into part of the bottom of the ocean. Let's get ready for journey. 3.6 meters deep. This is the average diving pool in the part of the dive. The board that comes in the splash into the ocean into the pool. At 18 meters, this is the free diving Norwegian Navy tank. That's in much of this goes free divers. At 28 meters, that's the deepest Navy tank, and the Space Galileos. And the part is deeper than this. At 35 meters deep, this is Nemo 33, the deepest at the Brussels, and it goes part of the ocean, and it finished in 2004. At 42 meters, the Y40 the Deep Joy, the deepest ocean, the deepest pool, and in Italy. This is dark, scary. At 46 meters deep, the deep spot at the Portugal deepest pool. I think it is in the darkness and the bridge of the portable. Looking at the hole. Meanwhile, at 60 meters deep, the world's deepest pool, the Dubai's Deep City Pool. This is the mush and the goat at the Aphylosaurus, at the biggest dinosaur in the history. At 93 meters deep, the shipwreck goes and the damages parts of the sea, and it goes in the deep ocean away. At 100 meters, into the fatal zone, the creature dangerous at deep pressure from the oceans. At 130 meters deep, this is the deepest wetting dive. It's underwater. Because the wet goes, the creatures, the scuba divers. At 200 meters deep, we're entering the Twilight Zone. This is the mesopelagic zone, but it's also the scattered light in the darkness in the deep sea. Meanwhile, at 244 meters, this is Hermsnitch, the deepest freediving and it had recorded in the history. At 300 meters deep, this is a giant crab Japanese, at the length of 3.66 meters. This is the most species and the biggest crab in the world. Meanwhile, at 335 meters deep, this is the deepest scuba diver ever in the parts in Africa. At 500 meters deep, this is the blue whale and heard the loudest animal and they reach 170 decibels. This is hearing the sound in the deep water. Naturally, the quietest ones in the deep, her is the loud one. At 550 meters deep, this is the deepest dive into penguins in the Arctic. But it's scary. This is so dark until I think between the twilight and the midnight zone. At 600 meters deep, this is barrelfish. It's the dark sea and a mystery. Eyes until it doesn't have pressure. Meanwhile, at 828 meters deep, this is the world's tallest building, Burj Khalifa. That's 160 stories high. That's the parts in the one big tower. At 900 meters deep, this goes a giant squid, colossal squids. This is the length, the size like a bus. This is eye size like a large pizza. You know that. At 1,000 meters deep, this is we're entering the midnight zone, the bathypelagic zone, where they're crushing like a planet Venus. and but immediately, but the dark, deep sea and the atmosphere, there's no light ever seen. At 1,100 meters, this is West Mata, the deepest underwater volcanoes ever seen. The last eruption, 2009. The part active. At 1,200 meters deep, this is Goblin Shark, the deepest shark ever seen. This is exhibit danger, stretches in the rubber bands. Right as the depth apart of the sea. At 1,300 meters deep, this is the deepest sea turtle dive. A Colombian this is a leatherback sea turtle, and the parts in the goes down to the surface. The deep sea turtle. At 1,500 meters deep, this is the deepest net, and the thing that it will trap them. And the net will be saving her life. At 1,600 meters, this is the mile deep at a part of the ocean. That's the greatest, the 1 mile in the deep sea. At 1,800 meters deep, this is the deepest canyons in the state of Arizona, the Grand Canyon. At 2,000 meters, this is the dragonfish. This is see that the swallow the dragonfish doesn't really prevent the red light being attack. This is the swallow into the stomach and the parts of the deep sea ocean fishes. At 2,250 meters deep, this is sperm whales and attacked by a colossal squid. This is one against the fightings and the wars in the deep sea. At 3,000 meters deep, this is the deepest whale, Cuvier-beaked whale, in the part of the mammals and the parts of the deep sea. At 3,050 meters deep, this is the deepest corals in the reef are rolled in the parts into the ocean depths. At 3,800 meters deep, this is Titanic sub in the deep sea, and it sunk in 1912. The dangerous pressure, extremely high, in the parts in depth, wreck ships. At 3,900 meters deep, this is the average depth of the ocean to wherever it goes. 4,000 meters deep, we're entering the abyssal zone. This is the most deepest, darkest in it goes. This is anglerfish, the fangtooth, and the Dumbo octopus, the world's deepest octopus and discovered. At 4,900 meters deep, this is the deepest hydro vents. This is the smokers, the temperature of 450 degrees Celsius. The boiling point is 100 degrees Celsius. This is the black smokers are the hydro vents. At 5,700 meters deep, this is the deepest wreck ship in the World War II, lost of sea, discovered. Meanwhile, at 6,000 meters deep, this is the Hadal zone, called the trenches zone. This is a part of the surface layer called Mariana Trench. At 6,500 meters deep, this is Alvin Woods Oceanic Extrusion. It's the deepest submarine. While in Discovery, in the deep parts, while taking the front of the ocean and find Discovery. At 7,000 meters deep, this is the deepest spider crabs and the Discover and ever sea. Next is 8,300 meters deep. This is deepest fish discovered. The snailfish. While the transparent that disappear a color. This is the part in the trenches of the trenches South America. And next one is 8,848 meters. This is the highest mountain in the world, Mount Everest. In the Nepal and China, and the Amsosphere, and partly deep the part of the oceans. At 10,898 meters deep, this is James Cameron, and well discovered year 2012. This is the parts of the trenches at the bottom of the ocean. While taking in the trenches deep down there. At 10,916 meters, this is a deep sea in the 1960s. And quite as of breaking the record, Donald and Jacques had all the deep sea pressure at 9,400 meters deep, while taking this in depth in sea area now. At 10,970 meters, this is a flight, their average of airplane ride, and the couples in there was due to the passengers and for the every sea. This is the deepest point in the world, Challenger Deep, at 10,994 meters deep. This is the lowest point of Earth. This is exploitation of that because 117, the Challenger, that trees before. The crust, before, and about the depth of the oceans.